Microsoft seems to have a very strange problem right now getting games to run on the Xbox Series X and the Series S. We keep seeing all sorts of performance issues. Even just this week, we actually heard about the fact that Ghostwire Tokyo finally came out, but it actually runs incredibly bad on the console that Microsoft themselves owns. This is technically a Bethesda game, which is their studio, but it runs better on the PlayStation 5. But of course, there is also the talks about Redfall and Starfield. It is now confirmed that Redfall is not going to be able to hit 60 frames a second on Xbox. Maybe at some point in the future, but as it currently exists, it is hard locked at 30 frames a second. And people are beginning to think that Starfield is going to follow the same fate. But this is weird. It feels bizarre that Xbox is not good at making Xbox games. And I want to talk about that. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not trying to upset anybody. I have a feeling that the comment section is going to be filled with a lot of very enraged people with Xbox console logos as their icons. I'm not meaning to press any buttons. I am just interested in this because this entire year, 2023, was talked about as the Xbox onslaught. People kept saying, all right, Microsoft did not do very well in 2021 or 2022, but this is it. This is the year where they get things right. But instead, we keep seeing tweets like this. There is no way that Starfield is going to have a 60 frames per second mode. Todd Howard has already hinted in the past that he values graphics and fidelity over performance. Tweets like this keep going all over the place because people are in just a spot of sheer disbelief. Why even own an Xbox Series X if Xbox first-party devs don't take advantage of its capabilities? Time to move to PC for good, it seems. Now, this is a very interesting note and sort of the focus of this video, which is the fact that the Xbox Series X is not weak. It's not underpowered. It is a lot of teraflops. There is a ton of graphical power and just generally raw juice under the hood. People could actually get these games to theoretically run good, but something on the back end, on the development side of this, actually seems to make it impossible for Microsoft Studios to somehow get this right. Now, what's interesting and sort of the biggest inspiration for this is this very long tweet thread posted by Clyobrile. This guy actually is a very, very hardcore Xbox fan account on Twitter that has a lot of very interesting takes. The guy definitely loves what Microsoft has been up to. He's hyper dedicated to the Xbox brand. But even he is actually giving some very harsh criticism. He dropped this very long piece here that people have sort of been debating and dissecting because it's kind of ridiculously harsh against Microsoft. But I feel like he brings up some pretty good points. Microsoft needs to take care not to make Xbox console owners look like second-class citizens. Redfall not supporting 60 frames a second at launch after being shown running at that frame rate in basically every single gameplay trailer is just icing on the cake. This is actually a really brilliant point that I did not consider myself, which is that they keep showing their games running at 60 frames a second, which is impossible on the consoles. I mean, essentially, every time you see an Xbox game trailer, it's for PC. I mean, what you're seeing is not what you would be buying or getting on Xbox Game Pass, at least not on your system that you paid $500 for. Xbox has been open about expanding to PC and mobile for years. PC Game Pass in particular is seeing a large push. Microsoft even develops first-party games that have been skipping their console at launch, such as Flight Simulator, Age of Empires, Ara History Untold. Those all came to PC before they ever came to Xbox, which is very strange indeed. Now we're having the Activision Blizzard acquisition, which they have openly stated doesn't really have anything to do with the Xbox console. It's about Microsoft trying to get access to King, which is Candy Crush, and they want to further grow their PC strength. That's totally understandable, but that's your new core fan base. The platform side of Xbox hasn't seen any impactful changes in many years, with resources likely needed elsewhere. Vocal feedback about Xbox achievements, the dashboard in general, a lot of people say it downright sucks, or Xbox DVR capabilities have largely resulted in no significant improvements. Microsoft definitely seems like they are not interested in feedback, and it's starting to hurt them. I want to take a break from this thread real quick to actually talk about this. Benji Sales is a Twitter account that basically does what it says. He tracks the sales of different consoles and different games, and he said this: I have to be frank and honest, Xbox hardware sales have a problem on their hands. Xbox Series X and S has had tremendous momentum coming out of 2021, and I was very bullish about their performance this gen, but things have slowed. They really need to start things to turn this around. They actually need that hype. Essentially, Xbox consoles are not selling at all. I mean, look at this. They're waiting to meet the demand on Starfield, says Jez Corden, and he says, well, let's hope that's the case, because currently they are being outsold 2-1 in their strongest markets. One of the weirdest things about the Xbox sales is that they are down so far. Like, they're very, very popular in places like Europe, but like obviously they're selling 0 Xboxes in Japan. There's just huge parts of the world where you literally probably could not give away an Xbox. But I want to go back to this here. Xbox console players are already used to having less exclusive titles than the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation. While I loved both Pentiment and Grounded, 2022 was simply an unacceptable year for X-Party first-party quantity. This is a great point. I mean, if you actually love playing Xbox exclusives on your Xbox, you get maybe 1 or 2 games a year. I mean, last year they had 2 games. Pentiment, which is like the paper RPG thing, which I heard the writing was good on, and Grounded, which was a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids survival game that's been in early access for years. They finally launched it. Okay, good for them. That is not enough. Like, consider the fact that last year, think of the insane year that PlayStation had with Horizon Forbidden West, The Last of Us remake, all the third-party exclusives that only came to PlayStation, God of War Ragnarok making record-breaking sales on top of record-breaking PlayStation 5 sales. And that was just a normal year for PlayStation. Going back to the tweet here, he says this: then there's the console shipments. Without further context, it's hard to understand what's really happening behind the scenes, but it looks like Microsoft, quite simply, cannot produce enough Xbox consoles right now, falling behind the PlayStation 5 even in their previously strongest markets. Xbox Live Gold is a meme at this point. Only Xbox console players have been able to pay to play online. Literally playing any game online for PC is totally for free. This, at this point, is just bad PR that you have to pay to actually even test out stuff. Like, you can't play Call of Duty, you can't play free-to-play stuff, you have to pay a monthly fee only on Xbox. Not a good choice. They also haven't had any official movements on the promised storage expansion options. If you actually want to get a better stick of memory for your console, it can cost you, hundreds of dollars. 343 Industries and Halo, literally the symbol of the Xbox console. Master Chief is on the box itself. They got hit the hardest by Microsoft layoffs. The fate of a new Halo campaign is unknown right now. There should have been more communication by the leadership of Xbox since this is their premier IP. Halo needs a future. The truth is, the best place to play Xbox games, and that's all the ones upcoming, isn't on the console, it's on PC. I very much understand that Microsoft needs to move beyond consoles and just make Game Pass work. I'm not naive, but don't risk to leave your core fan base behind. Cryobrill. Now, I think this actually is a brilliant tweet thread. I think it's got a lot of very strong points in it. And most importantly, I think it is a clear sign that I think Microsoft is, in my opinion, giving up on Xbox. Some people seem to be happy about this. I do see a lot of Twitter being like, oh, I used to play on Xbox, but now I only play on PC. Some people are also thinking that that's still a win for Microsoft, that if you buy a game on Steam, that's good enough because you still play it on a Windows computer, which is a bit of a weird take, but okay, I guess that's what you want to do. A lot of people are talking about the fact that just in general, Microsoft does feel like they're in a rock and a hard place. Like, do you delay Redfall? Redfall is very obviously incomplete because it's missing like 18 different features. In fact, I even decided to list them off in a viral tweet today. Redfall is always online. Only the main host makes campaign progress, meaning your friends have to replay chapters, and it's hard locked at 30 frames a second. I think a lot of these Xbox exclusives are just unfinished. They're undone. They're not ready for the Xbox. It's insane to consider this, but at the end of the day, Microsoft has a problem, and it's the Xbox. And I don't know how we got here. The system is strong. Microsoft has the trillions of dollars, even the tens of billions of dollars of liquid capital to buy studios pretty much every month. Why aren't you investing that? Why aren't you writing these devs to make better stuff? Why are we getting 1 or 2 tiny games a year? How long do we have to wait for the Xbox onslaught? When do the games begin? That's all I want to know. Well, these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. What do you guys think about this? Are you excited for the future of Xbox? Are you Team PlayStation? Are you only on PC? Or are you playing a Nintendo Switch right now while you listen to me? Put it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.